Welcome everybody to Chicagoland. My name is Josh Hall. I'm part of Intensity Broadcasting here tonight, getting ready for the iOS All Star Series. iOS Oval Series All Star Shootout here at Chicagoland Speedway. Little different format than you're used to seeing. Yeah, these are the next gen cars out on track right now. Getting ready to do some racing here under the lights at Chicago. A little different format than we're used to seeing with these guys tonight. We're going to be running a total of 55 laps. 15 lap segments, a 15 lap, a 15 lap, and then a 25 lap segment to see who qualifies for next week's All-Star race. The way it's going to work is the first 15 lap segment, yellow flags laps do not count. The winner of that will move on to next week and doesn't have to finish the race. They can just quit after that, or they will quit. Then they'll have a second 15-lap segment. The winner of that moves on to next week, and then we'll have a 25-lap segment where you have to pit in that segment. Again, yellow flags do not count, but they will be throwing a caution at the end of every segment. And that'll move on to next week, where they'll be running here in the Next Gen cars again, and it's all the previous winners from all of our series, the ARCA series, the Cup series, the Truck series. Everybody's going to try to qualify their way into this race here. And then a little bit of money prizes on the line next week. So that's why you're not going to see any of the winners on track this week. So I know if the bot squad is out there, we're not going to see Colin Willems out there, or we're not going to see Brian Nudie or Joseph Wright. We are going to have one of our own, though, out on track, as Atli Amin Weiss is going to be out there trying to qualify for this race. See Atli out on track right now. See us on track right now. Michael Cheeseburger Provolt. Michael Provo, excuse me, not Cheeseburger. I don't know why you called him Cheeseburger there. My mistake. Running a, well, it's a car. Colin Williams will be here, though, being his own bot squad. Bot squads for Mather. There we go. Nick Mathers is in the race. That is correct. See him in this 16 Monster Energy Camaro. These next-gen cars, man, they are sweet looking. I love the way these things look. I personally love the way these things drive. I'm looking forward to seeing these things on track next year. I'm looking forward to seeing these guys put on a show in them tonight. Russell Martin says he's going to try to make the All-Star race next week. Where is Russell Martin right now? He isn't on track just yet, but right now at the top of the board, Zach McBride. Logan Hagerman, another one who you're not going to see in the race. Not just is he a race winner, but he's a champion. Says Derek Chaput for the win. That's who he's rooting for tonight. Derek Chaput in the door of the Explorer car. Brian Merle Jr. up to second place right now. It's going to be the 12 on our ticker, the 11 on our ticker, but 12 on our screen. Bailey Jones up to the point. Provisional poll right now. As Greg Froelich just took over second place. Dave Wright out on track. Oh, the Country Time Lemonade car. I love it. Out there making some laps in the 84. I also see Bobby Mays out on track in the orange Thrustmaster number 5. Here's Russell Martin. We were just talking about him. He was just talking on our chat here in that TRD machine. And the Rowdy Energy drinks making his way around. See, we got just over 6 minutes left in qualifying here. Let's see who else is on track. Sylvan Segoyan out on track. Trying to qualify for this race. Derek Chapu up to the 5th spot right now. And Russell Martin just jumped up to the pole, knocking Bailey Jones off the pole. See Will Witt out on track. Cheeseburger just said in the chat, let's go. He qualified in the 7th spot. And Will Witt's going to take over the 2nd position. Just barely getting beat out by 4/100ths of a second by Russell Martin. And Bobby Mays goes 4th. So I have Todd Mays out on track. I think Todd starting his 2nd lap right now. Also, Kyle Mays just starting his 1st lap. Man, these things look sweet when they're all painted up. Again, I'm a huge fan of these cars already, and we haven't even seen them on the track yet. And Todd Mays jumps up the 2nd. Sylvan Seguin up to the 3rd position. The only car left to qualify is the 55 of Kyle Mays. As we watch him make his laps around Chicago here. We're going to have 19 cars taking the green tonight. 3 of those are going to move on to next week's race. Again, we have unlimited tires, 1 reset, 15 laps. We'll throw a caution. Winner moves on to next week. 15 laps. We'll throw a caution. The winner moves on next week. And then 25 laps. And in that 25 lap shootout, that last segment, you do have to make a green flag pit stop. If you're on pit road and the yellow comes out while you're on pit road, that's going to count. So as long as you made an attempt to make a pit stop, if the yellow is to come out, you're going to call it that you made your pit stop because you're going to fall to the end of the field anyways. Kyle May is going to roll out in 5th place now. Qualifying Q5. You'll be able to see pretty much the entire field there. Again, this is the All Star Shootout. And I think everybody has made their laps and we're getting ready to go green flag race in about 3 minutes from now. So don't forget to check it out next week. Same time here on Intensity Broadcasting. We'll have your all-star race featuring all the past winners of the previous 3 seasons of the ARCA Series, the Cup Series, and the Truck Series. And iOS, as you can see, they've changed their logo up just a little bit. Have a brand new look because they have a couple brand new series that they're introducing as well. They're going to have an ARCA Series on Sunday nights. They're going to have their ARCA Pro Series on Monday nights. Cup Series on Tuesday. The Trucks on Wednesday. And the Super Speedway Series on Thursday. So if you're interested in running any of these leagues, I know they are recruiting. Go ahead and get with Max McClure or Brian Nudie. Those guys are the contacts. Dylan Redding, they can get you in contact with the right people to get you in the series if you're looking to join. As we got about 1 minute and 40 seconds before we roll out here for our All-Star Shootout. And normally, we were supposed to have Joe Wright joining me tonight. I think he's going to be coming on a little bit late tonight, but he'll be here with us at some point. Let us know in the comments who you're rooting for tonight. I know Derek Chapu's rooting for I'm sorry, Logan Hagerman's rooting for Derek Chapu. I know Colin Willems is rooting for Nick Mathers. See a couple people connected on YouTube as well. So go ahead and drop a comment, drop a like, let us know who you're pulling for tonight in the iOS All Star Shootout. As we're about 30 seconds from gridding here. When we grid, we'll go through the field as well as these awesome paint jobs that you'll see here tonight in this All Star Shootout. Qualifying has officially ended. And your grid on pull tonight, the 15 of Russell Martin. Outside of him, Todd Mays in the 25. Sylvan Sigorian's going to roll off third in the 66, with Will Witt in the 35 rolling off in fourth. Kyle Mays makes up the fifth spot in the 55 machine, and Bailey Jones in the 88, rounding out row 3. Bobby Mays in the 5. He'll roll off 7th, with Greg Froelich, the legend, in the 8th spot. Zach McBride in the 46 rolls out 9, and Brian Merle Jr. is going to round out your top 10. Row 6, you're going to see Derek Chapu and Michael Lawrence. And then David Wright in the 13th spot, with Michael Provolt to his outside in row 7. Alan Warnecki in the 72, he'll be rolling off 15th, with Atlee Atman Weiss in the 78, rolling off 16th. Mike Rentz in the 91, he'll be 17th, with Nick Mather in the 16, rolling off 18th. And finally, James Moore in the 61, he'll be rounding out your field, as Brian Nudie, Blake Hensley, and Eddie Morris are just going to be admitting this race. Let's take a look at some of these awesome paint jobs on these cars here as we get ready to go gridding here. See Russell Martin and that Rowdy energy drinks, and you got Todd Mays in the Pepsi machine. Sylvan Sigorian in the Molson car, with Will Witt in the Bass Pro Shops machine. Kyle Mays in the DraftKings, and Bailey Jones in the DC shoes. And we'll just swing through these as we're getting ready to roll out here for some green flag racing. On the chat, we see starts with a letter. He has spoken very highly of what you do. I might join one of these series if my schedule will allow. We appreciate that. Maria Bonder Mason says, go get him number 11. Let's go 15. Taught him everything he knows. There's root on Russell Martin there. Take a look at our last couple cars here as we get ready to rock this thing off. Let's see who else we got out here. So starts with Larry, says, let's go 15. Taught him everything he knows. He has spoken highly of what you all do. Might join the season if the schedule allows. Maria Bonner Mason says, go get him 11. Brian Merle, number 11. Stephen Black says, let's go Bailey Jones. Cyclone Ration domination tonight, next week, like all season. Brian News says, Blake Hensley wants to help you out, Josh. Send him on in. And Stephen Black says, Sylvan's going too, so. As that pace car is getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. We got Blake Hensley joining us in the booth. Blake, how you doing tonight?
What's going on, Josh?
Doing well. If you want, you can watch that live stream right there in the channel here, so you can see what I'm looking at as we're getting ready to go green flag racing. Green flag is in the air. Russell Martin leads him to the starting line. He's going to jump out to a little bit of a gap here. He's got the 66 of Sylvan Seguin, give him a big old push there and there. Into turn number 1 to the outside, though. Todd Mays holding him tight.
Looks like I got that straightened out.
There you go. And they're already 3 wide. It looks like Sylvan Seguin's trying to fall to the back here. Got Will Witt looking on the high side of the 55 of Kyle Mays. He's getting ready to make that high side work. Bailey Jones making that high side work. She's going to go right around the 5 of Bobby Mays there and move herself into the 4th spot as she goes around Will Witt.
Almost got full wide there on back.
I see that. That's some great racing as these guys only have 15 laps to get themselves in position.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one to watch. Push, push, push the whole time.
Now, Blake, were you out there running these? As they're 3 wide, you got David Wright making it 3 wide with Will Witt and Bobby Mays here. Have you driven these cars to the track? Do you know how they're handling out there?
I did a little bit of testing earlier on today. It's wide open all the way around.
Oh, we got 2 spins. Yellow flag is out.
Big wreck. Several cars involved.
I saw there was actually 2 different incidents in that right there. We're going to start with the, it looked like Bobby Mays may have gotten turned around towards the back here. We're going to take a look here and see exactly what happened here.
It looked like it started with a little contact with the 5 and 35, Mays and Will Witt, and it all just kind of unfolded from there. Looks like Dave Chaput got involved.
Yeah, it looks like the 5 slid up the track just a little bit. Caught Will Witt, sent him around. At the same time, there was a great save at the front. We'll jump back to that in a second. Oh, man, the 95, the 5, hard into the wall. See, Atlee, I mean, we's cutting through that, though.
Bobbing and weaving.
Bobbing and weaving. Yeah, up at the front, we saw Zach McBride. Sorry.
Al tore up.
Got Russell Martin in the 15. We're going to rewind this just a little bit so we can take a look at the save that he made with a little bit of help. Where is it? Because he was completely sideways at the same time that wreck was going on. There it is. It looks like he just lost it all by his own there. At the same time, the wreck in the back happened, and a little bit of contact from the 25 of Todd Mays. But he's able to straighten it out and keep it going. So just a little bit of damage on that vehicle, but I don't think it's going to affect him all that much. So we got quite a few cars hitting pit lane. Will Witt, Derek Chaput, Bobby Mays, Brian Merle Jr., Mike Provolt, all on pit road.
Yeah, you always hate to burn up that fast repair this early, but
I'm sure someone like Russell Martin could go in and just get that damage fixed, not use that fast repair, because it doesn't look like his car is bent up too bad. Looks like just a little bit of rear end damage. Let's take a look from the nose here. Well, we really can't see it from the nose. Let's grab the rear chase here. Take a look at the damage that's on the... There it is. Not too
right
too
side
bad.
beat up a little bit. Not too bad.
Doesn't look too bad. Looks like he'll be able to continue on without too many issues. But man, just losing it up by yourself out there in the draft, it's easy to do.
Yeah, especially when you get in a group of cars like they were. You know, they pull that air off the spoiler, and that's all it takes to go from a stable car to an uncontrollable one real fast. These cars, though, what time I've tested them here, especially on this track, it's a lot of flat out all the way around, barely any lift, and even whenever the tires have got some age on them, it's full out the whole way around.
Got a couple of messages here in the chat here. We got well, I'm not going to read Steven. Steven, I'm sorry, I'm not going to read that. He says, "Let me get in the booth too." Got to have some energy.
The booth's only reserved for the cool guys. Sorry, Steven.
Girly Mather says, "Let's go, Nick." And apparently you're blinking here in the booth, is what I've been told. So
Gotta carry the legacy. You know, nobody can do it like I do.
There you go.
If you're
But
gonna do it, you gotta do it right.
yeah, so for those of you who really don't know what's up with these new cars, these new cars are completely rebuilt from the ground up. They look exactly like the street car that you'd see on the street. The deck lid has been shortened. The wheelbase is a little bit longer. You have 18-inch wheels, which doesn't really change the handling, but makes the car look. I mean, it does change the handle a little bit because you do have a little bit thinner sidewall. But the major thing about these cars is they're symmetrical. So if you look at any other race car, normally the right side is bumped out a little bit to allow for a little bit of what we call side force. That helps the car stay stable in the turns. These cars have no side force. They have a lot of down force, which really helps in the straight line. But in the corners, these things are a little bit more of a handful to drive. But like Blake was saying, they are flat out all the way around the track, which with the 550 horsepower package, you kind of expect. But it definitely leads for some big runs, some great racing. And I look forward to seeing who's going to take this first stage.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing who my competition is gonna be tomorrow night.
Is it tomorrow night or next week?
Yeah, that's next week. I don't know what day it is. I just come and go. Too young to be having this dementia onset.
As the pace car is getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road, and Russell Martin's going to lead them back to the start-finish line here. In the restart zone, green flag back in the air. Great jump from Martin, though.
Big jump.
Big jump. That's going to allow Kyle Mays and Todd Mays to be side by side, and that's exactly what Russell wants to see in his mirrors, those cars side by side instead of getting lined up to draft them up here. Bailey Jones and David Wright having a nice little battle here for 4th and 5th, and Atlee Atman-Weiss right there as well with Greg Froelich right behind.
The legend and the kid legend.
Atlee makes a big block up to the high side. He saw the 47 making a run. He threw a big block on Cheeseburger there. Cheeseburger's going to take him 3 wide, though, as to get around more there. And Atlee stuck on that high side. He's just going backwards. And now that these two, even though they're side by side, they're starting to catch Russell Martin just a little bit. And here comes Dave Wright, making his way up here as well.
That country time car.
Yeah, sweet looking ride right there. He's going to try to split him 3 wide. Cross down the start finish line here. And oh, some contact. And
trouble.
Big trouble.
Oh, more cars.
More trouble.
Another big one.
And that started. That's what we were just talking about. The difference in the way these cars drive. You're gonna see exactly what we were talking about. Dave Wright wasn't doing anything wrong. It just looked like the car on the outside. We'll take a look at it here before I make any assumptions. Transition it back. And you see the 3 wide race in here. Yeah, Dave does move up just a little bit, but that's
a little bit of contact.
Yep.
That's all it took.
That's all it took for those 3 to get together in the wall.
Big shot in the wall.
Yep. And then Dave doesn't look like he's got too much damage here. But then the 16 gets in the side of him and turns him around again. Right there in front of Greg Froelich. Froenich's going to go around the high side in the 16, and Nick Mathers is going to make some contact and send Dave back across the wall into the Froelich. Oh.
Lots of big rigs all there.
James Moore able to get it around, but then here comes, not sure who that is down there in that blue car.
Looks like that might be the 91 Mike Rentz, I believe.
Mike Rentz. Yep, that's who it is. Doesn't get wound down in time, gets into the back, and yeah, it's just a big old mess right there. So again, caution laps do not count. These guys do have 1 reset. It looks like Russell Martin, our timing just sometimes with the cautions, you'll see our timing gets a little messed up. So under yellow, it's going to be hard to see where your favorite drivers are. We'll get it squared away in just a moment.
Tell you what, these cautions, all these couple laps like that, we may have a race of the fastest beat up car tonight by the time it's over. These guys are looking like Blake Hensley out here. Come on now.
Before or after a couple cocktails?
Well, you know, it just kind of depends. We all have our days.
Or is it because you're drinking the skis?
No, if it did anything for me, I'd love it, but it doesn't have to.
Dean Qualley says, "Hey, fellas." Feathers. Wow, I can't read. Oh, man. Dean Qualley says, "Hey, fellas." Logan Hagerman responds back. But I like seeing the chat going on here. It's fun to see you guys talking with us. We can talk with you, and as always, letting everybody know.
Is Brian Nudie down in there yet, or is he busy right now?
Brian is not in there. He looks like he's too busy with race control. But Dean Qualley says, "What's shaking feathers?" So
Shaking feathers, huh?
I like it. At least they aren't calling me Josh Y'all, so we'll be good with that.
That is true.
I don't know if you were in the room that night when that happened, but Gila was not my friend. Anyways, Russell Martin at the point right now as we work lap 6. Again, these caution laps do not count towards the race. But at lap 15, the winner of that stage will be moving on to next week's race. And they'll be moving into the booth for a minute for a quick little interview. It'll be interesting to talk to the first stage winner to see how these cars are driving for them as the tires are getting on. And, you know, a lot of people, like you said, have been practicing, but practice and testing and racing are totally different aspects.
Oh yeah, completely different atmosphere. You go to piling 20 cars in here, it makes for an interesting time. You can nail your job whenever you're in your own practice test session. When you throw 19 other cars out here with them, it gets a little interesting.
Colin says I should just rename it the Gill Rewind at this point.
Well, you know, I can't help but notice there on your Wreckage Rewind, that's all it is, Mr. Gill.
Yeah, I had that up for last week, and I just haven't had a chance to change it just yet. So we're working on some new stuff for season 2, or the next season. That would be season 3 of the iOS series. Season 2 of 2021.
We were just talking a minute ago. We were up in, I think we were up in Intensity. We was all together talking, and we blamed the little hiatus he took there for a little while on me beating him at Richmond. He got a little sore after that, so. Let's provoke a little something out of him here real fast.
So you got Russell Martin on the inside, Bailey Jones in the second spot on the high side, Nick Mathers and Michael Cyclone represent. Michael Lawrence and Nick Mather in the second row here is getting ready to get back to that restart zone. Green flags in the air. Not quite as big of a jump as he got last time. Bailey Jones got a great start there. It looks like she was cleared to the bottom, but she's going to stay up high here. Oh, almost some contact.
Big wiggle.
Big wiggle out of Nick Mather there. Almost into the side of Michael Lawrence. I see Kyle Mays in that 55 machine trying to make it 3 wide as he's almost shoved up into the wall by Steven Seguin. Bailey Jones challenging for the lead on the high side here. She's having a great run here at Chicagoland. See Mike Rentz with a big wiggle back there, able to hold on to it, and see if Bailey can get some help here.
Good run going into 1.
Now, I haven't driven Chicago in a while. Does the high side have the advantage coming off the corner, being able to wind it up? And
I'm a highline ringer myself, so that's the spot I like to be. I like to be up high and keep that thing wound up. I don't like to have to slow it down any in the turns, but in these cars, you really don't have to. You can kind of keep them wound up no matter where you are, and it'll go.
Yep. Another interesting fact about Chicago, the back straight is not straight. It's actually
No, it is
got
not.
just a little bit of a curve. And Dean Qualley says, is that Blink Hensley? Yes, it is Blink up here. Oh, sideways Nick Mathers. Able to gather it up, but he was completely sideways all by himself. And we're seeing that a lot tonight. These cars getting really, really loose by themselves. Is that just a product of what I was saying before, that lack of side force?
I believe it has a lot to do with it. That's from what time I've spent in the car. That's what I've gathered too.
Which I personally love. I love having to actually drive the car and, you know, work the wheel and dirt track it a little bit.
Yeah, get up on that wheel and work that thing.
But right now, Russell Martin being stocked by the 55 of Kyle Mays, and Kyle's coming pretty quickly here.
He's got 5 laps to do it.
Yep, and I think he's got a little fresher tires as he's going to cross him over here.
Gonna get Russell out of his line going into 1.
Yep. See if you can make that high line work that we saw working so much earlier in the race. And looks like Bailey Jones slipped up. She's falling back to 7th place. I think she got a little loose and slid back, but Kyle Mays to the point. Here comes Cheeseburger. I think Kyle and Cheeseburger might be on fresher tires.
They were some of the guys involved in those wrecks earlier, so if I was them, I believe they would have took a fresh set, especially with the unlimited sets in the pits tonight.
Well, I do see Kyle Mays pit on lap 6, so he will have fresh tires. Lawrence did not pit, but he's putting on lap times. Actually, Michael Lawrence is the fastest car on track right now.
These cars, I don't think the tire model is set up just yet to where you feel the effects of your worn tires. So I feel like it's just you get a percentage of wear instead of an actual feeling of wear. So you're kind of able to stay in these things a lot.
Yeah, and that time by, Cheeseburger's still the fastest car on track, trying to run him down. I know Cheeseburger said he's running a paint job very reminiscent of his actual race car. So he said he hopes he can keep it on the tires as opposed to on the roof like what happened to him in his go-kart. Well, we're coming to lap number 14 here. So we have 2 laps until they throw the caution. Oh, caution is out.
And we do have a yellow.
Is that for an accident, or was that? Yeah, that was for an accident.
I believe the first one's, yep.
There it is. Todd Mays in the 25 gets, and Mike Rentz makes some contact there. Some hard contact for.
Yeah, big shot there in the wall.
Yeah, Todd Mays, and that is not what Kyle Mays wanted to see at all.
It'll make for an interesting, nice little last lap shootout here.
Sure will.
But I guess that's what we're here for. We are here for the shootout. Want to say is the longer this thing goes on too, you want to get out of here as fast as you can.
That's for
sure. The longer this thing goes on, the more the intensity goes up.
But yeah, so a little more about these cars for those, again, don't really know too much. They made the brakes bigger on them, so they're going to have a little more stopping power, and they're going to be a little bit better at the short tracks. Blake, the thing I really noticed at the short tracks, though, is you cannot dial in a lot of front brake.
No, you can't. They do lock and like to hop a lot. I did a little time on Martinsville today, and I had that same problem myself.
Yep. So
had that problem on the road courses too.
Yep, but you're allowed to change the size of the master cylinder. So there's a little bit of if you have a non-fixed setup. So if
right.
In the fixed setup, all you can really do is play with that brake bias. And brake bias allows you to add more front or rear brake. More front brake will help the car be a little more stable under braking, but also plants the front end and makes the car a little tighter and less likely to steer well. You dial in the rear brake, that helps the car rotate and turn, but it also can make you loose and wear out that right rear. And I like the idea of the step splitter that they put on these too. I think these cars are going to be a lot better in traffic, in real life especially. Being able to not stall out when they're behind a car, they'll be able to get up and pass.
Yeah, that's what we want as drivers. We like that aspect of the racing. I think iRacing's done a really good job with trying to make a product similar to the real world thing. Especially whenever they've not had a whole lot of track time yet. They've done a pretty good job, I believe.
Yeah, I know iRacing and NASCAR have done a lot over this pandemic. Not just being able to release cars like this that haven't even existed on track in real life yet, but to help design these cars. A lot of the design of these cars has come with the help of iRacing, being able to test them without having to get 30 drivers in an area together where in the height of a pandemic earlier in this year you don't want. So
Exactly.
that's exactly how they made the new Chicago road course as well. That's such a great thing for sanctioning bodies to be able to make a track, drive it, and say, "Oh, we need to put a chicane here. Oh, we need to do this. We need to do that," instead of trying to figure that out in the middle of a race weekend.
Not even have to be there. Yep.
What a time to be alive!
Looking back in years past, we never would have thought we'd ever made advances like this, but it is a very nice thing to have. I do greatly enjoy it, as do a lot of other people.
Yep. And from my experience, the realism of the tracks is what gets me, because I had the opportunity a couple years ago to drive would be a street stock, or in some places they would call them pure stock, or it was basically a G-body Chevrolet at Stafford. So I fired up the street stock in Stafford here, and I felt the bumps, and I figured out how to turn in, and hey, I had 2 top 10s. So
Oh yeah, earlier this year, whenever the Cup Series ran at Atlanta, I was able to take my personal vehicle for a couple laps around the track, and I knew where every bump in the track was going to be, just from the time I've spent on that track here in the sim. So it's awesome how true to life it is. It's really awesome.
So we're going to have Kyle Mays restarting on the inside here. He's going to be your leader. Russell Martin on that high side. Then Michael Lawrence and David Wright in row 2. And I'll tell you what, the position I really want to be right now is that 47. I think that's the spot to be on this restart. Seems like that third place car has been able to get a good run into the corner, use a little bit of drafting, and get around the leader. So we'll have to see what Michael Lawrence does here. Or if we might have a surprise winner a little bit further back. I know David Wright's been hungry, and he's been sitting there as the pace car takes that hard left-hand turn. Kyle Mays leads him to the restart zone. Green flag's in the air. And Kyle did not get the restart that we've seen earlier out of Russell Martin.
All going to be there under a blanket here for this last lap.
For sure, as we got a one-lap shootout here. Like I said, Michael Lawrence is at second spot, as I mentioned, exactly where you want to be. And it looks like he's going to be able to try to get a run here through 3 and 4. Is he going to be able to cross him over here?
Going to the bottom of him.
He's looking to the inside, down to the apron.
There he goes.
And
Oh! I don't know who that
Kyle
was.
Mays. I think Kyle Mays got it.
That was a close lap there.
Yep.
Way to go, Kyle.
Looks like Kyle.
Cheeseburger about had the run on him. Just a little more real estate. If we were at Talladega, he probably would have got him.
You know, it shows on our screen. I don't know if we got a little replay here coming down to the line. Well, let's see what our... I know timing and scoring says something a little bit different. Nope. Mays was able to get him.
Yep, that goes to
Just
Mays.
by that little bit.
Good job to Cheeseburger, though, for running him down there that last lap. Like I said, a little more real estate, he probably could have had him.
So unfortunately, we're not going to have Kyle Mays in the booth. I know he doesn't pop into the Discord.
Those Mays boys.
But Kyle Mays is going to be your first one to advance into next week's shootout. Or next week's All-Star race.
Yeah, big congratulations, Kyle. Very good guy to run with. Congratulations to him.
Yep. So now he can park. He's going to park it for the rest of the night. That's his advantage. He doesn't have to run any longer. And we see Russell Martin come in. Get tires. Seen Will Witt on pit road as well. Sylvan Seguin. Zach McBride. Got Lee Atman Weiss coming on pit road. Bobby Mays coming on pit road.
Several cars coming this time.
I think they saw what Kyle did there with those fresh tires, and they said, hey, I might as well come in and get me some too.
And it could be all in my head. There could be an advantage to the fresh tires. I've not got enough laps in a group yet to figure out if there is any advantage or disadvantage to it. So, but by the looks of it, appears there actually is. I could be just fooled.
Dean Qualley says, "Let's go, Atman." Atman running a scheme very reminiscent of his Bandolero. With that Juan's Cantina on the hood.
Yeah. Yep. I have to make a little shameless plug too. That 95 car out there looks pretty sharp as well, if I have to say so myself.
I was looking at that earlier.
Let's go. Mr. Provault.
Did you paint that one up?
I didn't. We have had many discussions about trying to find a car like that on the world of trading paints, and he found it before I did, and he's forwarded that to me, and I believe we're both going to make good use of that car. So
there you go. Hey, we got a little guest coming in. We got our stage 1 winner, Kyle Mays here. Kyle, congrats on the win and moving on to next week.
Thank you. That was about as close as you could get.
Yeah, we weren't sure. We had to go back and look at the instant replay there, and you got him by just a nose there. That must have been fun. How are these cars driving out there? That's the first thing I have to ask, because they look like they're loosey-goosey out there, and I know these cars have a lack of side force. I'm sure you're feeling that out there.
Yeah, it was totally different from when we practiced. When we practiced, it was just follow the leader and you couldn't pass, but it seemed like when you were in a group, you could pass a whole lot easier. You could get runs, and as long as you got to the inside of somebody, you were good.
Awesome, man. Well, must be a little bit of a relief being able to move yourself on into next week and be able to sit down and watch the rest of this race.
Yeah, it was real close there. I didn't want to take out the whole field and throw a block there coming to the line, so I just kind of rode it out, hoping that was going to be the checkered there, but lucked out.
Last thing, are tires a big difference? You came in and got tires because I think you were involved in one of those incidents. Did tires make a big difference here in the pack?
Yes, tires made a huge difference because I could run them down. I mean, on that restart right there, I think I restarted 10th, and I just throwed it in the top. But once I started racing the 15 there, I could tell my car was a lot better than his.
Awesome. Well, I know the other two Mays boys out there are fast as well. So, are we gonna see a Mays sweep tonight?
I don't know. I know that one of them's already used their quick repair, so we'll see how it goes.
Awesome, man. Well, congrats on that advancement on next week. And hey, maybe we'll talk to you again next week too.
Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you coming in.
See you later, Kyle. Good run.
Thank you.
Nice to hear from our stage winners there. And there you go, Blake. I mean, that answered all our questions right there. These cars handle totally different. Yeah, these cars handle totally different in the pack, as we are starting to see. And yeah, tires do make quite the difference. Let's see what else we got here in the booth. As we're getting ready to go back green flag racing here. Michael Lawrence is going to lead him down to the restart zone. Green's in the air. David Wright does not go.
Start.
Brian Merle Jr. gets a great jump on the outside, catching David Wright sleeping here, and he passed to the outside, so that's not a jump start. That is a perfect start for him. And Derek Chaput in that second spot. You see Provolt, your boy Provolt up there high, wide, and handsome and making it 3
Well, I
wide.
see. I think if I heard correctly, this is Junior's last run in the 12 car tonight.
Oh, Bailey Jones loose. Able to hold on to it. Oh, David right in the wall. We're 4 wide.
Five
5 wide. My gosh. Provolt almost makes some contact back there with the 46 of Zach McBride. They're able to keep it going straight. Atlee saw that all going on in front of him, and he decided to just got to fall back and stay away for a moment. As here comes David right now to the inside of Nick Mathers, trying to take that third position away. Man, there's great racing all over the track here tonight.
We're seeing lots of that. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of these cars in a group, though.
David Wright and Nick Mather side by side. Dave trying to get a little bit of a side draft there, but Nick's going to take the advantage. A little further back, Zach McBride and Michael Provolt going at it for 6th and 7th. When we get to lap number 30, we'll see that yellow flag again. Can Cheeseburger hold on to it, or is Chaput, who's looking to the high side, going to take it away from him?
A big challenge on him. Michael, he's doing a good job leading around there, holding him back here.
Oh, here comes Junior Nation, too. Looked to make it 3 wide for a second, thought better of it.
They were almost on their feet.
Dave Wright moves up to that 3rd position.
Provolt falling in line with him, too.
Great battle here. I know we were talking about the 2nd place driver. Oh, 3 wide in the back. Brian Merle Jr. Jumping to the bottom 3 wide. David Wright, Nick Mathers. He's going to make it stick here. Here comes Provolt trying to make it 3 wide and bring it down through there as well.
We might could see 4 wide at the line.
Yeah, we saw Nick Mathers get a little bit of loose there. Got 2, and that's incredible watching 2 cars down in the apron driving side by side. Michael Provolt looks like he's on your internet connection. I saw him blinking
Yeah,
out
he's
for a
pulling
second.
me here. Looks like he was able to get smoothed up there pretty fast.
Yep. Brian Merle Jr. getting a great push here from the 16 Nick Mathers.
Got Derek all over the back bumper of Michael. To the outside, back in line.
Hit the wrong button there. And here comes Junior Nation. Oh, Nick
Gotta come
Mathers.
join the party.
Nick Mathers almost got into the back of Derek Chaput there. And at the back of this little group, oh, Dave Wright pushes up the track into Nick Mathers. Nick able to hold on to it on that high side. Only loses 2 positions, and he's able to gather it up and keep going. Great save. As we see, Brian Merle Jr. was just looking to the outside of Chaput. Able to tuck back in behind him. And man, this is incredible, the racing that we're seeing here tonight.
Very fun racing to watch.
Oh, the 46 pushes up the track just a little bit, almost gets into the side. This, I'm sorry, not
Goes
the
Derek
46.
with the lead.
Yep, Derek Chaput takes the lead. Zach McBride almost got up into the side of, I think it was James Moore. We're 3 wide towards the...
Oh, wrecking.
Junior and
It's like Junior might
Cheeseburger.
have got turned there.
Take a look at the wreckage rewind here. So we can see exactly what happened. It looks like you said Junior... see David right there pushing hard, trying to make up some time here. Does he get into Cheeseburger here? Like, start to make it 3 wide.
Yeah, it looks like he tried to go 3 wide, then fell back in line with Junior, and he might have just hooked him a little bit there as he was
Oh, that
coming
looks
back
like
down.
that
Yeah,
actually looks like netcode.
glorious netcode. What would we do without it?
Yep. And that's going to take out both Cheeseburger and Merle Jr. And wow, what an evasive move there by Sylvan Seguin. Let's rewind this back. I want to actually ride along with Sylvan here on the roll bar so we can see the look that he had here.
A lot of smoke. Couldn't hardly see much of anything.
Was able to get right around. That's going to give the lead to Derek Chaput. Starts
5 left to go back green.
Yep, so in the YouTube chat, starts with a letter said who would be the driver everyone calls for custom paint schemes. I know Stephen Black does a lot of the custom paint schemes for these guys in the iOS series. I know I do some paint jobs, but I don't charge anything because I don't make them professionally or anything like that. So I make them for my friends and my teammates. Actually, one of the paint jobs that I've made, you can see out on track with Atlee Atman Weiss.
Very good looking car, though. You say it's not professionally done. It does look very good.
Thing I'm the best with is the spec maps. Those are what I like to do. I like playing with the chrome and making the cars look real pretty.
I've tried playing around with some of the different platforms for painting cars, and outside of Trading Paints is their own program or whatever, I'm not very good at it, so I'll leave that work for somebody else. Steven, he's done a really good job, made me some very good looking rides for this upcoming season.
Yep. I made all the intensity cars for next season, which you'll see on track. I also made a very special car for next week that is going to stay under wraps a little bit longer.
We're gonna have Mr. Hall on the track, or
No. But one of our final four in both the Cup Series and the Truck Series, Mr. Brian Nudie, has a special ride that I painted up for him for next week.
I remember hearing about that earlier. Yep, that's right.
So, no sneak peeks or anything like that, but I know a lot of these guys are going to get a good chuckle out of it when they see it. That's all I can say.
Maria Madsen said, "Jump up there, Brian Merle Jr." Well, he did, and tough luck for Mr. Merle.
Yep. Michael Lawrence says, "Damn, that was fun." Brandon White says, "Mike Falk has the flame, or has the fire." Excuse me.
Got the heat. I don't know what he's saying. I'm not up and good with all these young people terms. I'm a young person myself, but I'm not good with these young terms.
It makes me feel old when you see stuff like that. And I'm only 36.
Yeah, you got about 15 years on it, but I'm not quite as hip as most of these younger ones are. Kind of an old soul. Young in body, old in spirit, I guess.
There you go. So lights are off on the pace car. We're going to be going back green flag racing for another 4 laps. Derek Chaput, your leader. Russell Martin, the 15, back up into the front row there in second. Then Michael Provo, Nick Mather. Round out row 2, Zach McBride, James Moore. Row 3, Bailey Jones, Sylvan Seguin. Row 4, and Atlee Weiss and Will Witt back in row number 5. So it's really anybody's game here. Looks like a couple people went in and pit that time. Let's see, Will Witt, so 10th, 11th. Will Witt, Bobby Mays, Todd Mays, Brian Merle Jr., Dave Wright, Michael Lawrence. Well, Michael Lawrence is out, but they all got fresh tires. Brian Merle Jr. still out on track with that damage.
I'll have to keep an eye on that 15 car. He's been a pretty strong contender so far tonight.
Yeah, Russell Martin's been real strong, especially early in the race. We'll have to see how these new... Sorry.
I saw that too. I'm not sure what that means.
As we'll get to that in a minute. Green flag back in the air. Derek Chaput with a great jump here on the field. We saw a jump like that out of Russell Martin earlier, and it worked out pretty well for him. So as Provault working his way into that second position, trying to get around Russell Martin here, he's going to clear him as they come off of turn number 4. or off turn number 2, excuse me. Here comes Bailey Jones giving Zach McBride a push. And she's going to go right past Provo as well. She's going to move herself into the 3rd position. Atlee Weiss take him 3 wide here down on the apron. And that's what you like to see out of that young man. Getting up on the wheel.
Showing these guys how it's done.
Yeah, moves himself into the 4th position. Bailey Jones taking a look to the inside of Zach McBride now. And I think Chaput might be a bit of a sitting duck here. See Atlee working high, working low, seeing where he can go. Trying to get to the inside of Bailey now.
Nearly 3 wide.
Is Atlee going to take it to the... Tries to take it down to the apron. Here comes the 5 of Bobby Mays into the mix now. Another one of the Mays boys. And man, behind Chaput here, you got 6 cars under a blanket.
I think that's what he likes to see, though. That makes it pretty easy for him.
Yeah, that's exactly what what Chaput wants to see. Bailey Jones going to move herself into that 2nd position. Atlee moving up to the 3rd. We got the 19.
Got one in the wall.
That's Russell Martin in the wall there, able to pull it off, but he's going to lose a ton of positions here. As Atlee's still trying to work that apron there, trying to get around the 46 of Zach McBride, and Atlee pushes up the track just a little bit, but great run there. Here comes Bailey Jones to the back bumper of Derek Chaput. Behind him, they're 3 wide with Sylvan Segoy, Will Witt, and Michael Provolt. And now they're 3 wide with...
He's stopping that pony.
3 wide everywhere here.
The urgency has went up just several notches here, just these last couple
Oh!
laps. Big wreck.
McBride gets turned around.
I believe that's the 2nd hit he's took tonight.
Just going to immediately go back to this one and see what happened here. As we saw, it looks like the 5 of Bobby Mays may have came down, or he may have came up just a little bit, and he makes hard contact with that outside safer barrier. Will Witt makes a little contact. Provolt
Not Provolt.
goes underneath McBride. We see the 25 of it's one of the other Mays boys there get slowed down. Somebody made some contact late in that. I'm not sure who that was. There's a 47 a cheeseburger. Let's take a look at this from Provolt's view. 'Cause I know it's not what you want to see, but
Wrong place, wrong time.
pretty much. We'll jump on his roll bar here, and so let's go right to the cockpit view so we can see driver's eye here of exactly what he saw. Oh, sorry, that was McBride we were looking at right there, and you see McBride just get hooked and turned, and up and over he went. And that's a helpless feeling when you're looking straight up at the sky.
Just along for the ride at that point.
Oh, let's see if we can see what Provolt saw here. Provolt 95, where are you? There we go. You just got a face full of the
Face full of nice energy.
Yep. And from the sound of it, does not sound like that car is firing on all cylinders anymore. Fortunately, it sounds like he's going to have to reset if he has one, and if he doesn't, his night might be done.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it. So going back to what we were chuckling at, for those of you who couldn't see it, Stephen Black said in the chat, that's because we found Blake Hensley in the backwoods of Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm not real sure what he's alluding to. I think you got to fill me in on that, Josh.
I think he means you don't know slang because you ain't a city boy.
That could have a lot to do with it, yes.
Starts with a letter, says, oh geez. Avery Fast says, come on Atlee, you got this. And Devin Buccino says, the party's here. And look what we're going to have again, Blake. We got a 4-lap shootout to decide the stage.
It's going to get fun like it has been these last several couple lap runs here. Chaput's doing a really good job, though, leading them around there. They tried to come knocking on his door. He shut them back down. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's got our truck champ on the box tonight, helping him make some of the calls. So
Logan's making some calls out there for him.
I believe so. Them Canadians, you know.
Nothing wrong with our neighbors to the north.
Yeah, we gotta love them.
Stephen Black said exactly that's what it is. Him on not being hip. So, you know, if you've watched our broadcasts enough, Blake, you know that anytime I'm in the booth, I usually end up talking about food. And I got to give a shout out to Canada with their food. I mean, have you ever had Canadian poutine?
I'm a couple miles from there, so
Yeah, I know.
I don't think I've never even
so
really
basically
heard,
it's
outside of the broadcast chat. I've never heard of it. No.
So what it is it's French fries covered in duck gravy and smoked cheese curds. How can you not like that?
That sounds like something I could probably indulge in. I might just have to make a trip to Canada someday for some of that.
Yeah. They sell it at the F1 race too, so you can get it pretty much anywhere in Canada. They sell it at McDonald's. I mean, then again, their McDonald's is a lot better than our McDonald's. They got double Big Macs and double filet of fish and double chicken McChickens and all this other stuff. So they got you know, everybody jokes about Americans being the fat guys, but we don't got that stuff.
I've heard some of the guys out on the West Coast. They've said some of our McDonald's down here in the South is a whole lot better than theirs out west.
I'll tell you
they
what.
say we do things better down there.
I'll tell you what. We have sweet tea at our McDonald's up here in Massachusetts, but it is not the same sweet tea that you guys have in your McDonald's down there.
Y'all have sweet tea, and we've got sweet tea.
Yes, and being a Yank, I love me some sweet tea. And I just don't get it up here like down there. It just ain't the same. But let's not talk about food anymore, as we got 4 laps to decide the stage. With Derek Chapu on the inside, Bailey Jones on the outside, Atman up in that 3rd spot, Nick Mathers in that 4th spot, Bobby Mays and Sylvan Seguin going to make up row number 3 as the pace car is getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. There he goes. When Derek Chapu going to go, Green's flags in the air, and looks like Bailey and Atlee got caught sleeping a little bit. Bailey's going to slide down in front of Atlee here, take away that 2nd spot. But they're lined up now, and I think this is not where...
That spells trouble for Derek.
I was going to say, that's not what Chapu wants to see right now. Here comes Bailey Jones to the high side. And that man...
Maybe not. He knows what that speed is.
Yeah, he's looking to the inside here. Chapu puts a big block down on Atlee there. Yellow flag is out.
Yellow.
Not really sure what brought out the yellow flag here. It's not the end of the stage.
No, it would have to be something out back, I believe, because they look like it kept pretty straight and clean up front.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what brought that out. Maybe Zach McBride here? Let's take a look. Sorry to rewind and not do a wreckage rewind here. Well, let's, no.
I think he was off from the group. Maybe in front of him.
Well, I'm not really sure, but I do know that Derek Chapu's on pit road. Actually, yeah, that would be the end of the stage. So Derek Chapu's your stage winner. I lost track of
I guess
laps
it would
here.
be, yeah.
Because we're gonna have 24 to go, which would be the final stage. So
Yeah, I forgot how to count too.
yeah, me too. Look at us. Colin Williams says Chapu. Dean Qualley says get it, Bailey. She almost got there. And she's gonna have good position here for this final stage. Now, this final stage is a little different. It's 25 laps long, and you have to make a pit stop, a green flag pit stop. Josh, yellow will come out the stage end. Josh, why is the yellow out? Because we can't count. That's why, Colin. We were using American math, not Canadian math, apparently, and we couldn't count. We'll just throw it at that. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I got so caught up in talking about Putin and thinking about craft dinner that I the big KD that
don't get me started on no craft dinner
that
now.
I couldn't count and missed the end of the stage. So I apologize. And I know all the Canucks in the chat right now are laughing because they know what's up. So, again, these guys are going to have to make a pit stop. It has to be a green flag pit stop, or if they're on pit road when the yellow flag comes out, they don't necessarily have to take tires. They just have to make a stop.
Yep, just have to be in the box.
In the box, yep.
Looks
Logan,
like we got Chaput in the waiting room.
Yep, we got Shapoon in the waiting room. Derek, you got Josh and Blake in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Man, congrats on the stage 2 win. I thought there was a couple more laps there, but me and Blake can't count. And I was too busy thinking about Putin and craft dinner to really pay attention to the lap count. So I apologize.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Hagerman now thinks I'm starting to think I'm Canadian, only on my Meme and Pepe side, just so you know. But man, great job out there getting that stage 2 win. And I know we were talking to Kyle Mays earlier. These cars are a handful in traffic, but it seems like once you get up front, they're a little easier to handle. Is that what it's kind of feeling out there?
Yeah, it's definitely different. They were almost a little bit loose in traffic, I found. Like you had to let off going into the corners and everything, but once you get that clean air, it was nice.
Yeah, and being able to win that stage and not have to worry about making that green flag pit stop, that's got to be a big weight off your shoulders here.
Oh, absolutely. We were gonna do an early pit stop on the final stage there, but we didn't realize that the lucky dogs were turned off. So about halfway through the second stage, we were kind of tossing up plans, and it was kind of like, well, let's just go for it, see what happens.
And rumor has it that you had a champion on your box tonight helping you along.
I did. Logan was coaching me along the whole way.
Awesome, man. Well, definitely the right guy to have on the box there, as he is our Truck Series champion. And anybody you'd like to shout out tonight? Anything you'd like to throw? The mic's yours here.
Yeah, well, definitely a shout out to Logan. Shout out to everybody, actually, just for a great season so far. And hopefully great season again next year. Shout out to you guys up in the booth and all the admins. It's definitely a lot of fun to keep running these week in, week out.
Yeah, the racing tonight's been phenomenal. It's been looking excellent. We've seen a lot of 3, 4, we've even seen 5 wide tonight, which is incredible. And you must have been looking in your mirror on that last start, because I know you got out to a bit of a lead, and it looked like Bailey and Atlee were kind of drafting you a little bit, and I thought they were going to catch you there, but...
Yeah, I think everybody was just kind of going for it. Logan just told me to keep that bottom line and we'd be good, and sure enough.
Colin Williams just threw up Josh's 3 favorite things to talk about: Gill's restarts, Stephen Black late race cautions, and Putin. That is accurate. That is completely accurate. At least I don't talk about Pelican snowballs, but Atlee's in the race, so we don't get to get that plug tonight.
Yeah.
Well, Chaput, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Congratulations on the Stage 2 win, and we'll see you next week in the big show.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Pace car takes that hard left-hand turn. We're going back racing with Bailey Jones on the point. Atlee getting a bad restart there. He's going to get passed up by Nick Mathers here. Looks like he might have been in the wrong gear on that restart. Here comes Provault to the inside. Provault into the 3rd position. I guess he had that reset, didn't he? That car looks clean. Oh. Blake, I didn't realize I moved you. I apologize.
Oh man, he kicked me out.
No, I was trying to move Chaput, and I moved you by mistake, so my mistake. But Michael Provault moved back into the 3rd position, and it looks like he had a reset in his pocket. He was able to get that thing fixed up, and now he's battling for the lead here as Bailey Jones is trying to get around Nick Mathers on that high side. But Nick's going to take that position away from her, and here comes Provault following Nick Mathers.
All over the back bumper.
And just behind this group, here comes Junior Nation, Brownlow Jr. with that front end all smashed in, but he's making his way up there. Doesn't look like it's hurting him too much. So we see David Wright come back out on track. He must have made his green flag pit stop early, get himself out, and get it out of the way early. Smart move, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the strat is on these this stop here in this stage, but we'll see which one pays off.
Yep, Sylvan Seguin and James Moore also on pit road right now making their pit stops. Steve Alexis Junior Nation on their feet. Junior sitting back in fourth. Great battle up front.
It's like crazy right now.
Yep, great battle up front here, though, between Nick Mathers, Michael Provolt, and Bailey Jones.
3 wide behind him.
That's Brian Merrill Jr. stuck in the middle of the 3 wide. It's going to be Todd Mays going around. And Atlee Weiss trying to follow him through as well. Will Witt on pit road. Getting off pit road right now. We've got Russell Martin on pit road and Michael Lawrence also on pit road right now.
A lot of guys making their stop early.
I think it's a good idea. Get it out of the way. Get it. If you make a mistake, you've got a lot of time to make it back up, as opposed to making it late in the run and not having that chance to make it back up.
That's true. As long as they can get group back up and get some speed in between them, I believe they'll be all right.
We'll take a look at our track map, see where everybody is, and it looks like nobody's really spread out. James Moore just coming off of turn 4. He's the only one that seems to be really by himself, but everybody else seems to be pretty much packed up here as they're coming around the 15 of Russell Martin, trying to put him a lap down. And Nick Mathers, man, he got loose. Or is he coming to pit road here? No, he's coming to pit road.
I believe he might be making his stop.
So that's going to give the lead back to Bailey Jones.
Or Russell Martin.
Well, Russell Martin is going a lap down right now.
Okay, he made his stop early. Yep.
We are 3 wides. Michael Provolt's going to take him 3 wide to battle Bailey Jones here. He does a little side draft.
Almost clear.
Almost cleared at 4 wide behind. They're able to hold on to that. Looks like Provolt led that lap.
Provolt. Yep.
But again, these guys do have to make their stop as Nick Mathers took tires and fuel. So what you see at the bottom of the screen is right now we have Bobby Mays in. Here comes Atlee and Bailey on the pit road. And what you see down there right now, that timer running, that is their total time on pit road. The flashing pit will show what their pit time is when it's all done. See Mays just stopping to stop, takes a little bit of fuel and leaves. There's Bailey Jones and Atlee Weiss on pit road. So the pit stop doesn't have to be a tire stop. It just has to be a full stop on pit road.
Yep, I believe that's the way you want to go unless we catch a yellow here in this thing, and then you might be able to take those tires then. But least amount of time you can spend on pit road right now, but the better off you're going to be, I believe. That's what everybody else is thinking.
See, I'm a bit of a gambler. As Nick Mathers, we see Nick Mathers still on pit road. I'm a bit of a gambler. I would actually go in and take 2 tires. Because I think 2 tires might have a little bit of an advantage over being out there on old tires.
Well, we've seen tonight the tires do tend to give a good advantage to the guys that take them, so I believe you could be right on that one.
Michael Provolt from California. Oh, gets loose. Almost loses it coming on the pit road. Junior right behind him, smoking the tires coming into pit road. That's going to give the lead to Todd Mays.
Yeah, that was 2 guys that didn't want to kill any time any more than they had to.
I wonder if these guys are going to end up taking any tires because they smoked them coming in. Doesn't look like it. Provolt's away. Junior's away. So that means Todd Mays out on track all by himself right now. Right behind him, Russell Martin. to get his lap back here as soon as Todd goes in. And once he goes in, he's the last car not to pit. These
Yep,
guys are
that'll cycle back around to Russell.
Yeah, it will look like Russell Martin, Michael Provolt, and Junior are going to be your top three racing. And you see Junior going around Provolt back here. That's your battle for what would be second place when Todd Mays goes in to make his pit stop.
As long as those two stay together, I believe they'll be able to make up some ground on Russell. They'll be up there with him before too long.
Yep, here comes Mays on the pit road with 10 laps to go. So your new leader is going to be Russell Martin. We'll have to see how Todd Mays gets on and off of pit road. Let's take a look here. This is when I wish I had the ability to split screen it by myself.
Yep.
Todd Mays coming down pit road. Change the camera view so we can see him. Down and away. 1.2 second stop. Great stop for him. So now where is he going to come out in relation? As we see, he's just coming off of turn number 2 right now.
They're tracking him down fast.
See on the track map there. Now they're coming pretty quick.
Yeah, he's got about a 2-second gap right now, it looks like.
This is the view from his back bumper right now. And you can see those 3 cars kind of lined up. As we're just under 10 laps to go, 9 laps to go here at Chicagoland. Is it going to be another Mays win another stage here? Or is we're going to have a spoiler here? Maybe Russell Martin or Brian Merle Jr.
I'll tell you about those Mays boys. They don't know how to find their way to Discord, but they do know how to find their way up to the front pretty good.
That's for sure. Brian Merle Jr. being challenged on the outside, or he's getting around Russell Martin here. These two working out together.
Yep, told you that's all it would take.
Now,
They all 3 get in line, though. They'll be able to get up there.
let's throw up the delta here if we can see this way. The gap is closing. It's just over 0.7 seconds, and it's going down pretty quickly with those 3 lined up there. They are coming in a hurry as it's just
Very fast.
over half a second now. At the line, it is half a second.
Junior Nation's liking what they're seeing right now.
Especially with that beat up car. I mean, that front end looks like a Martinsville car, not an intermediate track car. Now, is Provolt going to stay in line, or is he going to try to make a move here, knowing that that 12 car's got a little bit of damage on the front end and ain't able to pull up as well? And also, that 25's got some damage on that right front, too. So, battle of a bunch of wounded cars up here at the front.
I thought we would get to this point at some time tonight.
And then David Wright in the rest of the field is 1.5 seconds back as we have 6 laps to go. And what those guys back there want to see is a yellow. What these guys up front here do not want to see is a yellow.
We used to have the curse of the late race iOS caution. We've been doing pretty good without it here lately, but I don't want to jinx anything. They'll all blame me for it then instead of you.
Because Stephen Black hasn't been running as much lately, so that's why the late race caution really hasn't come out. So Logan Hagerman says, I'm going to grab a Pepsi and enjoy this finish.
Yeah, as long as we can keep that Stephen Black guy away, I think we're pretty good for a good clean race as long as he's gone.
Russell Martin trying to take
He's
that.
up there listening.
Yep, Russell Martin trying to take that 3rd place position away from Provolt. He's going to get it. Here comes Junior. Looking to the outside, diving down to the bottom. These guys are catching some lap traffic as they got to deal with the 71 of Greg Froelich here. Froenich's going to stay at the bottom side here. And you see Junior kind of drafting Froelich a little bit. Froelich on the low side here. They're going to be 3 wide, Provolt and Martin here.
Russell pushed up into him just a little bit. He's able to keep it off of him, though.
Yep. With 3 laps to go, is there enough time for Junior to get up there and make the pass?
I believe they should have stayed together a little bit longer if they wanted to get up there and catch that 25 car.
These two running side by side behind him are actually catching him right now just a little bit. Oh, some contact. Provo around.
Oh,
He saves it.
Gets it up. Dang, we hate to see that. We were rooting for you, Proby.
But here comes David Wright with 2 laps to go, making his way. He cut down that gap there. They're starting to cut it down quite a bit. I don't think there's going to be enough time unless the yellow flag was to come out, which I don't see that happening. Here comes Russell Martin, though, pushing Brian Merle Jr. Going to try to look to the inside, but
Yep, they're going to have to do it quick if they want it.
yellow is out.
There is a yellow. Oh, boy, doesn't this make things interesting.
Oh, boy.
Hey, Josh, just for the record, that was your fault, not mine.
It was my fault. We'll take that. It looks like Greg Froelich lost it all by himself. Tries to gather it up, catches the outside wall. Oh!
Ooh,
Sylvan
hard
Seguin.
hit. Hard hit.
Oh, man. Well, here's the question of all questions. If you're sitting there in the back like Bailey Jones or Bobby Mays or Michael Lawrence back there, do you come in and take tires here? You got a green-white check
Yeah.
here. You got nothing to lose.
A
Even
lot of these guys up front are on the older tires. I believe a fresh set's going to do a lot of good here.
I mean, this is a winner-take-all race, so what have you got to lose? Joseph Wright says that man is a legend.
9 points paying. You ain't got nothing to lose.
Well, all this does is secure you into the All Star race next week.
Well, I hope Logan got back in time with his Pepsi so he can watch this little last couple lap show here.
So Todd Mays with a beat-up car, Brian Merle Jr. with a beat-up car, going to be your front row. Russell Martin, Michael Provolt sitting in second. Cheeseburger making his way back up. He's sitting in 5th right now with Bobby Mays going to be right behind him. I see Nick Mathers there, but Nick is actually a lap down in that 16 machine. And there is no
lucky dog tonight.
I'm surprised they weren't doing at least a wave around. And I think with the because of the no caution laps, the wave around was turned off.
A couple more coming down for some tires. I thought we'd see a few more go.
I like it personally, even if it's just 2. I know Joseph Wright will argue with me up and down that 2 tires is never the way to go, but I personally love running 2 tires. I think it makes the car feel a little bit better on shorter runs.
Yeah, on a short run, I believe that's the way to go. Me personally, I can't hardly make myself not take 4. For me, it throws the balance off way too much for me, and I just not able to hold on to it as well as I do on 4.
In Friday night's original Rebels race, the Xfinity race, I took 2 tires at Indy, and almost made it pay off until I made a bonehead move. I took 2 tires. It came out as I was rolling off pit road. The yellow came out, so I stayed out. There's only like 20 laps to go. I stayed out, took the lead. We ran 4 laps, and the yellow came back out. I had fallen back to 3rd, which, hey, top 5 is kind of what I was going for. There were some guys I knew I wasn't going to beat. And then we got 3 or 4 more cautions, so it was like short run. I didn't think the tires were wearing off that much. And then I forgot to change my brake bias on the last lap, got up into the gray, and just pushed up into the wall.
All she wrote.
And that's all she wrote on the last lap. Actually, through turns 3 and 4 on the last lap. Just because I didn't put the brake bias, set the brake bias back just a little bit more.
Looks like there's a little suspicion down the chat. I'm up here in the booth, but I don't know. I'm just up here calling it.
Joe says, green flag, that's right, but not under caution, no point. And then he says, let's go D Wright. D Wright is currently sitting in the 8th spot. But it looks like he's on fresh tires. Looks like Bailey Jones is the first car on fresh tires. And then
I
behind
don't
her.
think it's gonna take very long. They're gonna come marching up there on those fresh tires.
Yep, Dave Wright, Will Witt. Will Witt actually took a reset as well. James Moore and Bobby Mays all on fresh tires. So we're going to have to see how these fresh tires play out here at the end. As the lights are still on the pace car. Maria Bonder Madsen says get a jump Brian Merle. So she's looking for Merle to get a good jump here on the restart here. I do not know why I can't talk tonight.
Yeah, Josh, I'm an EMT. I just thought I'd check on you. You're not having a stroke on me, are you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I just want to check on you. To answer Logan's question, no, Logan, I'm not blinking in the booth. I saved that specialty for the track.
No, his eyes have not moved once this entire race.
Yeah, they're starting to hurt a little bit, honestly.
And realistically, the way this race has been going, Joseph Wright says English. Yeah, it's like them truck cars, right, Joe? But with all the excitement in the track we've had tonight, I've had a hard time blinking myself.
It's been a really good race, though. I have to say that this track and this car combination does. I like what I've seen so far.
Joe Wright.
And I think with time, the 1.5s in this car are gonna be a good combination.
Mick Olafson says, "Come on, Will Witt." And they're stacking up. They are getting real tight here on this
They
restart.
got them real tight there, yeah.
Yeah, they're getting ready to go here. The pace car's
They're
getting ready.
hungry.
Yeah, they're going to take that. That pace car's getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Joe Wright says it's about to get wild. Yes, sir, it is. Green flags in the air. Big jump from the 25. Big jump from Bailey Jones on the outside. She timed that restart perfectly. And she
Better
jumped.
watch out, boys. She's coming.
She is coming. Jackson says, send it, Bailey. Oh, we got Cheeseburger. Almost loops it around there. Able to hold on to it. Bailey got a little loose here. David Wright now up to the 4th position. But right now, Todd Mays and Russell Martin are the battle on track. Will Witt to the inside of Brian Merle Jr. And we know Will's on those fresh tires as the white flag is out.
All or nothing.
Oh, they are sliding and beating and banging in the back. Here comes Will Witt.
Will.
Looking to the high side in those fresh tires. 4 wide behind. But right now it's all about Will Witt trying to get around Martin here. Can he make it stick?
High.
As they come off of turn number 4 and on the straightaway. Will Witt gave it all he had, but your winner of the final transfer spot is Todd Mays in the 25 machine, and what a great run. Will Witt moved up into the 3rd spot, and that was an incredible run on those fresh tires. And Blake, I think you might have learned something here for next week watching this one.
Oh yeah, I've soaked up a lot of knowledge up here from up high tonight.
But your winner here, Todd Mays, in the 25 Pepsi machine, and
We nearly had the Mays sweep tonight.
almost had the Mays sweep tonight. Where did Bobby finish back in the 8th spot? I know he got caught up in a couple wrecks, but yeah, Todd able to win that final stage and move himself into next week.
See how he does on these sequential burnouts.
I hear these burnouts are a little tougher to do now.
Little tricky.
Oh, looks like he's got this mastered. Looks like he's been practicing.
Yeah, he got him a little practice on this just in case tonight before he come in here. Very good job of holding those guys off though, especially on those fresh tires. I didn't think he could do it, but he did.
So if you're joining us a little late, our transfers tonight was the first transfer of the night was the 55 of Kyle Mays. And your second transfer spot was the 37 of Derek Chaput. And finally, your final transfer goes to the 25 of Todd Mays. We're going to take a look at the final standings of the race, even though the only ones that matter are those three. But Will Witt coming home in second. Those tires made a big difference. Russell Martin third. Junior Nation, Brian Merle Jr. comes home fourth. Michael Provault in that fifth spot. And then Bailey Jones in sixth. Michael Lawrence seventh. Bobby Mays eighth. James Moore ninth. Dave Wright 10th. Atlee Atman Weiss one lap down in 11th. Sylvan Seguin had that hard wreck with the legend there with Fronek. Nick Mathers got real loose. He finished third, 3 laps down as well. Greg Fronek 8 laps down. Zach McBride is your final car out on track that was not a transfer winner. And looks like we got some top 3 action going on. So let's get Russell Martin in the booth here. Russell, you got Josh and Blake in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Man, that looked like a lot of fun out there tonight. You were at the front, you were at the back, you were all over the track. Almost made it work there. It looked like the fresh tires kind of ate you up there with Will Witt. Looks like if he had a couple more laps, he might be able to do something. But, man, it just seemed like tires were the big thing tonight.
Definitely, tires were a big thing, and honestly, you never knew if you were going to be tight or loose, depending on where you were on the track. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's something that me and Blake were talking about earlier in the race is the way that they've taken the side force away from these cars. It's really made it sketchy, especially in traffic in the corners. Is that kind of what you were feeling as well?
Absolutely. You definitely notice, being out front or having that clean air makes a huge difference, and it was pushing really bad there that last run.
Yep. Now, I know they're not going to be introducing these cars into the iOS series until the following season. Next season, they're still going to run the Gen 6 cars. But let me ask you, after running a full race under your belt with these things, are you looking forward to running these come next couple seasons?
And these are definitely different. I just wish they had more power at 1.5 miles. Honestly, that felt like a 400 horsepower car.
Yeah, I think that's with the downforce. I do know that I've read, because I keep up with the stuff quite a bit, that in real life they're planning on extending these cars maybe up to 600 horsepower just to overcome the big downforce and the big drag. But, man, great run tonight. I thought you had this at the end, but anybody you'd like to thank or any shout-outs you want to give tonight?
Now just thank the guys for letting me hop in. I only ran a couple races at the end of the season, so I was kind of throwing a Hail Mary trying to make it into this All-Star race, but I'm all in for Cup and Trucks next season.
Awesome,
and
man.
Thank my wife for letting me do this.
Awesome, man. Yeah, you got to. I do the same thing, and yeah, I'm actually going to be racing the trucks next year myself, and I'm looking forward to it, so hopefully we'll see you out on track.
Absolutely appreciate it.
All right, that was your third place finisher, Russell Martin. Let's bring in our second place finisher, Will Witt. Will, you got Josh and Blake in the booth. Got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, those fresh tires, looks like if you had another lap or two, you might have made those work. And, I was saying just before that yellow came out, I said to Blake, I said, if I was sitting more in the back like Will Witt and Bailey and them, I'd come in and take tires. And you almost made it work there.
I should have went low. Yeah. Russell ran a good race. Tires obviously did make a bigger difference than what a lot of us thought. But I got nothing to lose. So I said, I'll try it, and it worked. And I should have just went low there on Russell, and I think I would have been able to have it. But he forced me high there going into 3, and I just that killed all my momentum.
Yep, and it seems like the question or the comment I've made to everybody so far is, just seems like the lack of side force on these cars have really changed the dynamic of how these cars handle. and looked like you really had to drive the cars tonight as opposed to the cars being stuck in the track and on rails.
Yeah, if you were in a pack of 4 or 5 cars, yeah, they'd get tight and they would get loose. I mean, if you were by yourself, were pretty good. But actually, that first caution when the number 5 got up into me, he just got tight. He lost all the air and just got tight and ran up into me. So, yeah, they're definitely a handful when they're in a pack, and they're a lot of fun to drive.
Awesome, man. Well, congrats on the second place. I know it doesn't mean anything because it doesn't advance you, but it's nice to be up there and have some fun with these guys. Anybody you'd like to thank? Any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, I'll shout out the guys that ran tonight. It was a good race. Congrats to Todd and good racing with Russell. And obviously, good luck to everybody that runs next week in the All Star race.
Awesome, man. Well, I know we'll be seeing you again next season with the running Cup and Truck next season, or just Cup?
We'll just be running the Cup next season.
Awesome, man. Well, we'll see you in the Cup Series races next year, and we'll talk to you then.
Yeah, hopefully this next interview is for the win.
There you go. As we'll wait, and look who we got in the booth now. We got our winner, Todd Mays. Todd, you got Josh and Blake in the booth. You got us?
Hey, I'm here, guys.
Man, great.
You finally found your way.
I did, believe it or not.
Man, what a race. I mean, it seems like you were in the back of the pack at one point as well. You kind of fell to the back, made yourself back up to the front. Had a little bit of damage on that car, but still able to make it, bring it home here to advance to next week's All-Star race. How did your strategy go as far as when that last pit stop had to be made under green?
Well, the pit stop before that, I took tires. I felt like I was in a little bit better situation, even though I started at the back of that race there. And then I just coming in, locked it up, slowed down as much as I could to get to that speed, and it worked.
I know a lot of these guys were talking about these cars handling and being a handful. Seems like you had that thing pretty locked and loaded up there at the front once you got to the front. How was your experience in these new cars?
I like them. It is hard to pass. It's better in the race than it was in practice, though. So you get more air moving around, and it creates a little bit more of a slipstream. So they're different, but I do like it. I really like it now. Heck, I won in it.
Yep. And having all the laps, having all 55 laps under your belt going in next week, that's got to give you a little bit of an advantage, you think, huh?
It couldn't hurt.
Tell you what, I've got my eyes open for you next week.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm running a new wheel too. I got me a Fanatec wheel and pedals, so I feel like last year was behind me, and this year I'm starting new, and so far so good.
There you go. Those new wheels and pedals brought you a win here. Anybody you'd like to shout out? Any thanks you want to give?
I just thank you guys for putting this on. Thank the league. I really enjoy this, and y'all do a excellent job at the broadcast and the league.
I appreciate that, Todd. And hey, maybe we'll talk to you again next week as you got a couple opportunities to win a couple stages again next week.
I sure hope so. I look forward to it.
Thanks again. Congrats.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks a lot.
But man, Blake, I mean, could you ask for anything better there? We saw 4 or 5 wide, apron to the wall. Man, just a killer show tonight.
Didn't expect that kind of a race tonight, but I'm really glad that's what we got. That was very fun to watch.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to have next week in the iOS All-Star race, the big race here at Chicagoland.
Yeah, especially when we got all those guys that's won races this year, and we all got our big egos, and we're ready to butt heads out there and just run for nothing. Really, it's gonna be interesting, I'm afraid.
Yep, and I know, like I said, I feel like it's a big advantage for Todd there, being able to run all 55 laps and kind of know what these cars are going to handle. I know you weren't out there on the track, but I'm sure you learned a bit sitting here in the booth tonight too.
Oh yeah, just watching was able to soak up a lot and learn from these guys and see what they did right and what did wrong, what not to do, what to do. So I'll take that and I'll try to apply it next week and see what we can make out of it.
Well, the big thing for next week that we didn't have in this race is the inverts, which is
that's what I'm still trying to figure out how to how to go about that one, but we'll see what we got up our sleeve. I'm afraid everybody's kind of got the same plan up their sleeve, but we'll see.
Yeah, because next week the format's going to be just a little bit different, very similar. It's going to be a 3-lap, a 3 stage race, but on lap 25. So it's going to be 25, 25, 25 for the stages. But on lap 25, there will be a full invert of the field. So a little bit of cash on the line. No fast repairs next week either, which is going to be a huge thing. So, and they must have a green flag pit stop as well. So join us next week for the All Star race here at Chicagoland. We'll see the best of the best from the iOS series, and Isaiah Gill. So that should
And
be
Isaiah Gill,
so
can't forget him.
that would be phenomenal to see that race. And don't forget, we're here. I believe Dirty Thursdays is over for a little while, so and Wednesday nights is done. So you do still have the original Rebels League. Actually, no, they just finished up their season 2. So the next time we'll be on track again will be next week for the All Star race. So don't forget to join us back here. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe on Twitch, on YouTube, on Facebook, Intensity Broad 1 on Twitter, and check out the ETV racing app, eRacing TV, on your Roku and your Fire Stick. But for Blake Hensley tonight, who joined me in the booth, Blake, thank you very much for helping out. It was nice
Absolutely.
to have a new voice in the booth and someone to talk to, especially someone who races with these guys and kind of knows a little bit more of what's going on. So thank you for joining us tonight. And for everybody here at Intensity Broadcasting, as Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over